What's up, Leafs fans? Welcome back to Leafs Digest. We're back breaking down another win by the Toronto Maple Leafs. We go to 5 straight wins so far. We have won 10 of the last 11 games that we've played. We are 12-5-1 on the season. And yes, I understand that we have 2 games in hand on the Florida Panthers, but we have in fact caught them for first in the Atlantic. We are tied with the Florida Panthers. Yeah, they got a couple games in hand on us, but we do manage to pull away from the rest of the group. Tied for first in the Atlantic is a nice thing to say, nice thing to look at, and I understand the regular season doesn't mean much, but let's break down tonight's game because the fact that we have won 5 straight, we have won 10 of the last 11, and this team's all-around game seems to be coming into form. There's a lot of positives coming out of it, but first, I do want to start with a bit of a weird kind of feeling that I have going into this one when I saw the news or I saw the lineup going into tonight, the projected lineup. Travis Dermott going back in again instead of Timothy Liljegren. After the last video that I did against Nashville, there was a lot of people in the comments saying that Liljegren was staying out for rest, the same reason that Sandin had stayed out for rest the game prior and Wayne Simmons as well. And I didn't tend to disagree at that point. I was a little skeptical in terms of, could this just be a rest situation? I knew Sandin was. I was pretty comfortable with that. Let the guy get some rest. He's never played a full NHL game season. If he feels banged up, let's not risk it. Let's let him sit down for a game. We don't need him in there every single night. But Timothy Liljegren sitting out back-to-back games, especially when they've had at least one day in between, just for a guy like Travis Dermott to slot in there who by no means performed exceptionally or was a standout player or a guy who said, I need to be in this lineup. And conversely, Timothy Liljegren at no point has done anything to prove to us that he shouldn't be in this lineup. I'm starting to get a little more conspiracy theorist as the more this goes on. We'll see what happens in Saturday's game, who slots back in, who stays out of this lineup, or who moves out of this lineup, who's new, who's moving out. I'm starting to wonder, guys, is it Travis Dermott showcase time right now? Let's show the rest of the teams in the NHL what this guy's got. Maybe we can move on from him because I just don't see a scenario where we need to move on from Timothy Liljegren or we need to be putting Dermott in the lineup. And one thing that I do want to remind everyone before I get too far down the conspiracy theory tunnel, if you want more talk on this, make sure you subscribe to this channel. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers, so you can help us along the way. Make sure you get in there right now. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. But you can subscribe to this channel, get notifications on videos coming out. We will have a video coming out, Josh and I, pretty soon regarding the whole Ilya Mikheyev situation about him coming back. And if you're not familiar, he's on the LTIR right now, getting cap relief for this team. But when he comes back, that is $1.6 million. That is $1.6 million more towards the cap. Someone may have to be on the move here, and the Leafs may be looking at an opportunity here to show off guys who are in this system, guys who are playing every night, and say, what can we get back from these guys? Or maybe we can hopefully dish them and get nothing back to save some of that cap. So we'll see how that plays out. But that was the initial thought that I had right before the game. Didn't really have time to jump on here and get a video out before the game actually started. So that was kind of my pregame thought. I wanted to make sure I got on here right away. But let's get into tonight's game. Let's start just chronological order. The first goal of the game, Toronto Maple Leafs open it up with. And again, Let's just also bring this back to the fact that I have hopped on here and harped on the Leafs for giving up the first goal of the game numerous times this season. Actually, a ridiculous amount of times. It's not even funny how many times I came on here, win or lose, and said, man, we should not be giving up first goals of the game. I tell Josh, we shouldn't be giving up first goals. I have a live stream. I say, we can't give up first goals. I talk here solo with you guys and I say, we can't be giving up first goals because it gets ridiculous. At some point in time, it will catch up to you where you just can't catch up to it. It will get too far ahead where you go, we can't battle back from this. Why are we down 1-0? 2-0 like the LA Kings where they jumped out ahead of us and then all of a sudden the game was out of hand. At some point, it catches up. You can't just continue to chase. It's nice to know that you're able to come back. That's one thing that is really nice to take away from that. But you can't do it on a consistent basis. That just gets exhausting, mentally and physically, and then at some point probably morally. Why can't we start games on time? Well, a little more recently, we have started these games on time. We have at least started with the lead. Even if we haven't jumped out here right away and played incredible to start the game, we've managed as a team, and especially thanks to Jack Campbell, we've managed to hold off the other team from scoring first. Which, hey, I would love this team to come out right away and be ready to score a goal in the first minute or 2 minutes, and that's not quite where we've seen this team at yet. But the fact that they're at least out there preventing goals from happening before they get one on the board, that's a nice step in the right direction. So, I mean, if we've won 10 of our last 11, we've won 5 straight, we're tied for first in the Atlantic, and we're just taking baby steps in terms of, okay, we'll start a little slow, but we'll at least score the first goal here. I'll take that one. I'll take it, and I'll be happy with that one. I can swallow that and say, okay, we're moving in the right direction. Maybe next game we come out and we score 3 goals in the first 5 minutes. Who knows? Highly doubt it, but hey, maybe we'll trend in that direction. And then at some point, switch flips, and we are just motoring through teams as soon as the opening puck drop happens. Wishful thinking on my behalf, but let's get into that first goal specifically, because I actually do want to give it my awesome Matthews play of the day. So, we did change this segment up. It was the Poppy power play of the day. We felt it was a little more fitting, the awesome Matthews play of the day. That it's the best play of the day that we're rolling with. We're going to give it the award name of our best player, our superstar player, but he is not the guy who wins it tonight. It is Morgan Rielly for that opening goal. And it's not just Morgan Rielly, though. I think when I've done these plays of the day, the awards, I tend to go in the direction of a team-oriented aspect around it. So it is a team combined effort, and I'm not giving this to the Toronto Maple Leafs. I am specifically giving it to the fourth line and Morgan Rielly on that first goal, and here is why. The fourth line entirely created that goal basically strictly off of the forecheck. The puck goes into the corner, Bunting and Simmons both go after it, and they get on the right side of the puck, which, I mean, shout out Gordon Graham. That guy is the first person on every video to shout out David Camp for being on the right side of the puck, and he has every single right to, because he is bang on. That guy is always on the right side of the puck. But Gordon, I'm going to steal that from you in today's post-game reaction and talk about that fourth line on that forecheck being on the right side of the puck, because that is exactly what happened. Simmons and Bunting go in there. They're on the right side of the puck. They're in the right spots to cause chaos on that forecheck. Spezza high in the slot. You end up causing a turnover down low. Simmons buries the defenseman down behind the net, just basically mauls the guy to the ground, effectively takes out the other defenseman or the forward that was in the corner with them, takes them both out of the play. It ends up kind of coming around, and then again, Wayne Simmons, this animal, goes and picks up the puck, shields it away, makes a nice toe drag move before moving the puck back to Morgan Rielly, and then again, swoops out towards the front of the net, creates kind of a double screen between himself, Bunting, and Shesterkin, and then Rielly obviously at the point taking the shot. But as soon as that pass came from Simmons to Rielly, he's curling into the lane. Rielly just rips it right away. No hesitation. D-man getting a puck to the net. Bunting, perfect screen in front. Simmons, the secondary level of the screen. And then Rielly getting that puck off right away, right off of his stick. Puck goes in the net. That is perfect execution of a team who isn't just playing skilled hockey and just looking for the perfect goal or looking for the perfect play or the highlight reel play. That's not what this was about. This was about playing hockey the right way, which is so basic, generic, cop-out to say, I get it. But it's also just what we haven't seen from the Leafs team typically in the past. Puck goes in the corner, hard physical forecheck. We're on the right side. We're playing defensively we're playing offensively with defense in mind. Puck comes around, now we control it. We play the boards well. We win puck battles along the boards. We don't turn the puck over. Make a nice move to the defenseman. And the most important thing aside from the screens here, the defenseman shooting the puck. We have had so much trouble here with D not shooting the puck and not becoming threats in plays that it's gotten to the point where penalty killers and 5-on-5 defenders alike don't need to worry about our defensemen ever because they are not a threat. If you don't shoot the puck, you don't create offense, you cannot and will not be considered a threat. This D-core lately, I can't say all year, lately has become more of a threat. I think it's led by Rasmus Sandin. I think Morgan Rielly kind of stepped up and said, hey, like, I used to be that kind of player. The last couple seasons it trailed off. Now I'm watching this guy. Last season in the playoffs, he takes my spot in power play 1. If I want to stay here, which he obviously does and he gets that contract, but if I want to stay in this high up role with this team, more so what I'm meaning, I got to take that back. I got to take that ownership and become a little bit more of what I was doing as a player, because he was an incredibly offensively inclined player when he was here a couple years ago. He has a season where he scored 20 goals. Well, so far on this season, and I'm going to get a little bit ahead of myself here, but this D-core 6 days ago had 1 goal from a defenseman. That was from Jake Muzzin. 6 days later, the D-core is sitting at 4 and Morgan Rielly has 3. 3 in the last 3 games. Now he scored 1 against Buffalo and 2 tonight. There was a game in between where he doesn't score a goal, but defenseman can't score a goal every game. Give him the pass there. But he grabs 2 tonight. Incredible. Like, we need defense to shoot the puck. So that grabs my Austin Matthews play of the day for tonight. Now I'm going to move. I want to talk about this penalty kill real quick here. The Rangers get a power play in the first period there. This penalty kill has been suffocating. Suffocating. I love Andre Kasha and David Kampf. David Kampf, first of all, just brilliant defensively. Gordon in the comments every single time knows exactly what's up with Kampf, playing on the right side of the puck defensively. He's a defensively minded. He's very intelligent defensively. You can watch the hockey IQ being displayed on the ice. Both him and Kasha are willing to put their bodies on the line. They're strong guys who don't get pushed off of pucks easily. And on the other hand, do push guys off pucks easily, which is lovely to see, considering you don't need to be blowing guys up. It's super fun to see that. Like, helmets, gloves, yard sale, whatever, it's fun. But it's not needed to win hockey games. What's needed is being physical, being strong, winning battles, and that's what Kampf and Kasha do. So that's what they bring to that penalty kill as well. There, as well as an element of speed, which can make the offense nervous more than anything, where they start to overthink and try to move pucks quicker than they have to, and then things get scrambly for them, and our penalty kill kills it off. So I just wanted to shout out our special teams on that. Our penalty kill has been great this year, and it's obviously as well supported by Jack Campbell, who plays incredible, but actually specifically on this first penalty kill tonight, he wasn't even needed because our penalty kill held that power play to 0 shots on goal, which is a beautiful thing all around. Now, the big boys tonight, 3 of the 4 of them had pretty quiet nights. Nylander, Marner, Tavares, fairly quiet. And now I don't think they necessarily played a bad game. I think this might have been one of Nylander's worst that I've seen him play this season. I wasn't overly fond of his performance tonight. I know he got sad against Buffalo, but I don't know if I was necessarily at the point of saying, what is wrong with this guy? And I'm not still at the point of saying what is wrong. But sitting there watching that game against Buffalo, it was kind of, okay, yeah, he's playing a little, not the best, but I don't know, is it time to sit him? Yes, there was a specific play where he didn't, kind of got out of position, or there was just some of that stuff. But tonight was more so a poor game from William Nylander from my perspective. Marner and Tavares relatively quiet. The one guy who was just himself was Austin Matthews. This guy looks more and more like Austin Matthews that we've seen last season and the season before, because I think at the beginning of this year, it was a little bit slower getting going. Missing training camp does not help. That's what happened with him there. He had slower start getting going for this season, but now he's really looking like himself coming into his own, just dominating with the defensive play, his stick lifts, his takeaways, which he is usually top in the league with, and then as well as trying different things, going to the net, taking pucks to the net, making moves on defenders, attacking guys one-on-one, getting shots off from different areas, using his one-timer. This guy is lethal at all times, and I loved what I saw from Austin Matthews tonight, despite the fact that he didn't get himself a goal. And then again, let's go to the second goal of the game. Morgan Rielly, another Another goal by Morgan Rielly, but it was a great goal. This one could have been the candidate for Austin Matthews play of the day. Obviously, that's a cop-out. There was 2 goals in the game, and I'm saying that the other one was a candidate. Come on. But still, I do think it was a candidate just because drives in, becomes a threat, gross backhand toe drag, slips a 5-hole. Beautiful goal all around from Morgan Rielly. Gets himself on the board with 2 on the night, 3 on the season so far. Hopefully this guy can just get a little bit of a spark in himself going, and he can get that jump going and continue to be an offensive contributor, because that's what this team needs. We need defensive scoring. We need help from that back end in the offensive zone. And if he can continue to do that, that is chef's kiss, beautiful from Morgan Rielly. So if he can keep that up, we would love to see that, because it completely just begins to negate his lack of defensive ability or his defensive woes, because he has been playing better defensively. There's still times here and there we look at him and say, hello, pardon? But when he does things like that on the offensive end, it can kind of say those really bad defensive moments and go, okay, you scored 2 goals tonight. Thank you. And you can kind of just move on from it. So Morgan Rielly, stud tonight, absolute animal. The last person that I want to get to before I get my grades of the game, Jack Campbell. Can we just, as a fan base, people in Toronto, people who just appreciate and enjoy hockey, just give a round of applause to Jack Campbell, because this guy is an animal. I honestly think Jack Campbell should be up for the Vezina this year. It's insane the numbers that he's putting up, the stats he's putting up. 27 saves tonight, a .964 save percentage. He's got 3 shutouts on the year. He goes into tonight, he only lets in 1 goal. It's just insane what he's doing. I mean, as a fan base, we really need to step back and appreciate the performances that he's putting on every single night. Because yeah, there's nights that we score 3 goals against the Nashville Predators, but look on the flip side of that. Yeah, maybe Nashville gets 1 or 2 by Campbell on a different night where he doesn't get the shutout. But also, you got to remember too, part of what happens when another team scores is momentum shifts. And Campbell stops that right away. So many times where there's these incredible backdoor saves, these timely monster saves. Panarin on a breakaway, different tips in front of the net, scramble plays where everyone's everywhere, and Campbell finds a way somehow to come out of there holding the puck, covering the puck, kicking pucks to corners. He just continues to be a rock on the back end for this Leafs team, and it's insane. I cannot remember seeing a goaltender play this well in a Leafs uniform. So Jack Campbell, kudos to that man. He is a stud, and we cannot take for granted what he has been doing here with his time in Toronto. Now, last thing, obviously, as we do every single time that we do these videos, I want to get to my grades of the game. All right, so tonight's grade of the game, it's a little bit more harsh, I'm not going to lie. If you watched my last video against Nashville, you saw me be real generous there, and I threw out an A+, which I don't think I've thrown out the A+ yet this year. I've usually gone with the A, even if I'm feeling really happy. But tonight, I'm just going to keep it at a moderate B. Jack Campbell was a stud, flat out. Morgan Rielly was a stud. The rest of this team, it felt like a slow, boring-ish game. And now the overall play of the game, in terms of as a fan being like, oh, I wasn't overly thrilled with what I saw in terms of it wasn't the most exciting game in the world, doesn't and shouldn't necessarily factor into the fact that it's a B grade or what my grade overall will be. But let's be honest, sitting at home on the couch watching that game, you're kind of sitting there going, there's not much happening. And it was a little bit sloppy. It was a little bit choppy. There was just not much flow. Lots of turnovers by both teams, really. Some sloppy defensive play. Not much really happened. And it was just a game where we just won the game. Morgan Rielly scores 2. He has a great night. Jack Campbell makes 27 saves and is a .964 save percentage. Only allows 1 goal. He has a great night. That's that's kind of the extent of it. Now, that's not sitting here saying there's a lot of bad things. It's just, this is one of those ones where if you go back and watch the tape tomorrow, or if you're just a fan, you want to rewatch the game after the fact, you're going to sit there and go, yeah, that was a sloppy game. There's a lot of things going on that probably shouldn't have been going on. A lot of mistakes here and there, but we got the win. We move away from it, and that's all you can really say. And let's be honest. When I got a B in school, I'm not overly thrilled, but not upset. So I think we can walk away from this one going, yep, B. It was a B. You got through it. You got the win. You're happier than if you got a C+. If you got a C+, you still pass, but yeah, you got a B. Grab the B. Leafs, take that B. Run with it for tonight. A solid win in terms of the fact that we held on. We're winning close games, which we don't do often. We haven't seen in years past. We are learning how to win close games. We're learning how to win differently. We're learning how to win with a lead. We're learning how to win chasing a lead. We're learning how to win in overtime games, in regulation. We're learning how to win big, win little, win with shutouts. We're learning how to win all of these games, which is the craziest possible word to use when it comes to this team, given how much we've criticized them for that. We're learning. Enough learning how to lose. We're learning how to win now, which I get it's going to be a weird thing for people to comprehend, and I'm just more so considering how often have we sat here and said, man, we're winning close games? Not very often. How often have we sat here and said, we're winning games where we come from behind? Not very often. Now we do this on a regular basis. We know how to hold leads. How often can we say that? This is the Toronto Maple Leafs. Every time you look at a lead in the third period, you sit there and bite your nails a little bit and go, I don't know if we get out of this one. Now I sit there and go, we're probably going to win this game. Like, we got to just hold on. We'll be fine. And I don't panic. There's no panic anymore. I don't feel that. We got an incredible goaltender. Our defense all around as a team is much better. We have an incredible third checking line. Our fourth line is very reliable. We have studs in our top six that just fill it out. They can score goals. They can play defense now because they have rounded out into form. Now this team is learning to win. We've learned to lose. It's over. There's no more learning to lose. The learning lesson's done. We're learning to win. We're learning to win different ways. It's time to move forward and continue to win. We have won 5 straight. We've won 10 of the last 11. This team is 12-5-1 on the season, and we are first in the Atlantic. Things are looking up, and things are also looking up for the Leafs Digest YouTube channel. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do so right now. Make sure you put that notification bell on so you can get notified every time new videos come out. But Leafs fans, it was a decent game tonight. The decent is the best word I can use. Again, 5 straight, 10 of our last 11. Things are looking up. I love what I'm seeing from Jack Campbell, and decent night for the rest of the team tonight, but we will see you guys soon. We will probably have another video or maybe a live coming out before the next game, Saturday, November 20th at 7 p.m. against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Leafs fans, look forward to seeing you guys then. Keep believing.